Hey there, you me and DC fans, and welcome if you are new. I am the stepson of Krypton,
And I'm Mantis.
and that is Thor back there in the corner. He
Thor's with
wanted
us today.
he wanted to be in shot.
We're
So
doing
to
DC today, but he's here as the MCU representative.
Yes, we got to have balance, right? We got to have balance for you guys, all right? Because we are discussing some groundbreaking news from the DCU and from the set of the Superman movie that we are actually getting a crossover of the boys and Superman in the DC world, right? So Black Noir is going to be on the set. He is on the set of Superman. And Mantis, if you are ready, we are going to get into the discussion.
Let's go.
All right, Thor, are you ready?
He is biting me, so
So
yes.
that's
I think
yes.
that
Okay,
means yes.
then let's go. All right, guys. So the boys crossing over into the Superman movie. That's not true at all. Okay, so what it was is I didn't realize this. So I'm sitting out and having a couple drinks last night. I get this photo from Mantis, and it is of Superman being arrested by what looks like Black Noir. And so I actually responded to him. I said, is that Black Noir? And for those of you who watch The Boys, season 4 is out. They actually, by the time this, well, right now as we're recording this season or episode 5 just released. Amazing show. If you are over the age of 18, go watch it. It is definitely not suitable for kids.
No.
But apparently, I didn't realize this when I sent that. A lot of people made that comment to the post of this picture because it looks like Black Noir just from the look of it. Now, with that, we get in this photo, we get a U on the suit, right? So immediately, yes, we joke around that he looks like Black Noir, but that U means something very, very interesting to us DC fans. Mantis, do you want to go over what that U could possibly mean? No guarantees yet, but what it could possibly mean.
Yeah, no guarantees. But I mean, it's looking like it's Ultraman, and it's kind of interesting. Again, it Ultraman does fit in there with the Superman lore. I know we're going to go over exactly who Ultraman is. From the picture that I saw, that's the first thing I thought of. I know, like, a couple of the newer comics, especially the New 52, he's actually in like it's almost like Bizarro Superman. He's just got on the blue and red with the U on his costume. In this picture from the set, he's in black, just like Cal had mentioned in the photo that I had sent him off Discord. But that's the first thing I thought of. But then, of course, when you sent, is that Black Noir? I was just it's like, oh shit, yeah, that's me.
Well, because if you watch season 4, the way Black Noir is this season, it's great. So like he was already on my mind because I've watched a reaction to episode 4 of The Boys, and it already had me thinking Black Noir, and I see this. However, Ultraman is an interesting take on this because for those of you who don't know, Ultraman initially is like his first comic book appearance was back in 1964, right? He is from Earth 3. And forgive me if I misspeak, but at least the way I remember it, the way they kind of did uh the Earth was like Earth 1 was like Golden Age, Earth 2 was Silver Age, then Earth 3 was evil fuckers, right? So it was all the kind of the evil or darker counterparts of those Earths. So Earth 3 Superman, it was Ultraman, and he was just the evil version of that. At least that's what I remember seeing was as far as Earth 1 and 2 was Golden Age, Silver
Yeah,
Age,
yeah,
and then they did that. I could be wrong.
yeah.
Let me
And
know.
he's a part
Don't
of
have to
the
be a dick, but let me know if that is wrong. But uh,
and he's
please
a
go.
part of the crime syndicate, right? From Earth 3, correct?
Correct. And because it's continuous tie-ins because the original Ultraman dies in Crisis on Infinite Earth when Earth 3 is wiped out, just like all the other Earths except the one. Um, and you see him very, very few other times. I think it's like there's only 2 other, and I could be wrong on that too, but I'm like 99% certain. There's only 2 other instances where you see Ultraman in the comics, and is still tied to the crime syndicate. Now, we do get to see Ultraman in live action in Smallville season 10.
Get up, Tess. Get up!
Okay, so we do get to actually see him. Clark uses the mirror box, and it actually sends him to the parallel universe, and that the Ultraman Clark comes to our Earth. That was actually a sad episode because I Jonathan, like he was like I felt so sad for Jonathan in that. And we'd already lost him before, so we got to see him again coming into a full episode, and he was just so like jaded, and that Martha had already left it. Like it was a sad episode with.
Well, Ultraman's kind of a psychopath too.
Putting it mildly,
he comes to. Yeah. I mean, he really is because he comes to Earth just like Superman did. However, in this instance, apparently there was someone ends up destroying Krypton, not by their own means or by the planet being destabilized or whatever. But when he comes to Earth to, he finds Martha and I guess in this case his name was Johnny, but Jonathan and Martha Kent, only to end up murdering them later on. So when he had no need of them, right? He's very selfish. Yeah. So I don't. And here's the weird thing, because like I said, in the suit being, I know it has a U on it from the picture. I don't know. Is that Ultraman, or is it like some Lex type or some Luthor Corp type experiment thing,
Now, we have seen that, obviously when you look at the outfit Superman's in, he's got the Kingdom Come symbol, or a very similar, at least what we've seen to it.
Yeah.
But it's not the colors we're used to seeing, the red and black under the Kingdom Come, right? And the suit, it looks very traditional. So everything about the suit, other than the design of the symbol, looks the traditional Superman, right? So obviously we can infer that some liberties are being taken. So with this, I don't know if they're going to go with multiple universes and they all tie in, because I kind of feel like at this point, and this is just me speaking, this whole multiverse, we'll just go get another copy. It's wearing a little thin. I just want one cohesive universe, right?
Yeah.
I want deaths to mean something. I want hey, we're done. We'll bridge them all together, like we did in our previous MCU video we were just talking about. Eventually they all come together for Secret Wars, and just let it be done. One fucking timeline, right? So if they're doing that, they might be taking some liberties. So we know Lex Luthor is going to be the central villain of this movie. So maybe Lex created, because we also know that in the comics, cartoons, TV series, he's always been trying to clone Superman. So maybe he does clone Superman, which ironically is funny because Black Noir in the comics is a clone of Homelander. But maybe he does clone Superman and he is called Ultraman, but it isn't a tie-in to it's Earth 3's. It's just Lex clone of him. Ultraman. Yeah, so that's why the suit can be, the black and all of this. Yeah. And we see to the left of Superman, we see Rick Flag Sr., Frank Grillo, or however you want to say his name, who is going to voice Rick Flag Sr. in Creature Commandos as Rick Flag Sr., and he is confirmed to be in Peacemaker Season 2. So we see him. I tried to zoom in on the girl that's to the right of Black Noir there, and I couldn't verify, and I've not seen anything, but I couldn't verify her identity to say either she's one of the other people already slated for the movie or any of the people from Creature Commandos to know what her role is. I apologize. As soon as I know more, I will put it out there. But we don't bring you fake news here on You, Me, and DC, right? We're giving you facts.
We are speculating a bit on this again because we looked before. There is no casting for Ultraman specifically in IMDb for this film yet. But that doesn't mean that they haven't done it. What I think could possibly be, I kind of agree with you, Cal, that this is not the Earth 3 Ultraman. This is not the Ultraman that came from Krypton, that is the opposite where, he's kind of like Bizarro in that sense where the sun hurts him. or weakens him, and he basically feeds on kryptonite to power him. I don't necessarily think maybe that's the way that James Gunn is going with this. And maybe it's just I'm preconditioned to assume that it's some LexCorp experiment gone wrong, because that's essentially what happened with Doomsday and the Zack Snyderverse. Maybe I'm conflating these two things, but to me that makes more sense, especially looking at the picture, because here's the thing: when you look at the Mr. Terrific images of Mr. Terrific's outfit, he looks like he came straight off the comic book. Same thing with Superman here. Like, it looks like very vibrant, bright. The costume, I'm not talking about the little ruffles and all that shit. I'm talking about the way it looks like it's straight from the comic books. It doesn't look like Man of Steel, doesn't look anything like that. So it's weird that they would not do the same thing to the villain and make Ultraman look like he should. You know what I mean? Like, you did it with Superman, you did it with Mr. Terrific. Obviously, we haven't seen any Green Lantern in this yet, or even Kara, but what they've shown us with so far from the sets in Cleveland, this picture we're discussing here with Ultraman, it would just be very strange for him to just go off of the way they've doing the rest of the superheroes or supervillains in this, and make an Ultraman with a black suit like that and looks more like a military uniform, like a super soldier type thing than anything. But
Well, and so that's the thing. So obviously we see him being arrested, and from the look of it, like, it's not. And again, since there's no origin story, it's not like one of those things that where like, oh, like in Man of Steel, where they've just finally seen Superman and they had this massive military presence because they didn't know
Right.
what he could do, right? So it's like, let's bring out all the big guns.
They know.
Yeah, they know what he could do. He looks to be getting arrested, hands behind the back. Now it makes you wonder if this is an Ultraman or a clone of Superman. Is he the one holding to make sure Superman doesn't break out? Because obviously they have similar powers. Could it be that he is in a kryptonite cuff? And if they flow with the origin of Ultraman, he is powered. He gets, actually, every time he encounters kryptonite, he gains more powers, but obviously weakens Superman. So is it hey, he's getting power while it's weakening him, so we know he's not going to go anywhere? Could that be where they're going with it? Let us know what you think on that particular point, because I'd be interested to know. But I feel like it's got to be something of maybe a combo of the two, maybe a little something.
I think so, and I think Lex is involved. Because again, in all the comic books and the animated series, in a lot of the storylines of Superman that involve Lex is always infusing kryptonite and shit, right? Like, it's a kryptonite sword or a dart with liquid kryptonite, or his car runs on liquid kryptonite gasoline, or like, it's just like some weird shit like that, right? So I mean, I wouldn't put it past Lex knows how to hurt Superman with kryptonite at this point. And there's kryptonite cuffs and all of that. Because again, like you said, this is not an origin story. Superman has been Superman for a bit in this quote unquote time frame universe.
Well, and the thing is too, Lex is also, he's very adept, especially if they play it where he's like the genius billionaire business guy. He's also very adept at making Superman look like the bad guy, like always showing the worst side of Superman, right? So we know from the previous, if you watch the video we just put out of all the new images we got from the set of where they just started filming earlier this week on the 24th in Cleveland. Obviously we're in the same area, right? They got these shots from there, so this has to tie into the battle scene that we saw in downtown Cleveland. And now he's being arrested, so obviously something happened, and it's making it out to look like it's Superman's fault, or he's in a negative light, right? That's why he's being arrested, which I feel like that's a very Lex thing to do, is to turn the public against Superman.
Yep.
So, I could see that being, well, he's got this clone of Superman, or he's got this, whatever, his Black Noir, that, is again kind of keeping Superman, at bay. I say that, like, I would hope they don't do the Man of Steel thing where he gets handcuffed and it's just regular handcuffs, and he's like, let's put all of our cards on the table, and he just breaks the cuff.
Let's put our cards on the table here, General.
Don't get me wrong, I love that scene in Man of Steel, but I don't want to see it repeated. That was Man of Steel's thing. Don't do that again. Don't just have him handcuffed with regular cuffs and then he'd be like, let's put all of our cards on the table and just fucking snaps them. Like, there's no point in that, right? Don't recreate something we've already seen. This has to mean something else.
It's, the way they did, another thing from the Zack Snyder, we're kind of going off topic here, but I really like the way that Zack Snyder did introduce kryptonite to Clark in the atmospheric sense. Like when he goes up to the ship with Zod, it's not like he just had kryptonite statues in there or he wears a kryptonite ring or something like that. Like, no, it's the literal atmosphere has it in there that he can't be adjusted to, and it's fucking him up. I really like that aspect that they pulled there, not the traditional Lex thing to do, where it's like, oh yeah, he's putting a chain of kryptonite around him, or the kryptonite handcuffs.
That is still completely awesome from the original Superman when he does that and he pushes him into the pool and he's like, you don't even care where the other missile's going, do you? He's like, Hackensack, New Jersey. And Miss Tessmacher's like, Lex, my mother lives in Hackensack. I love it. Still one of the greatest scenes in any Superman movie. Hate on me for saying it if you want to, but it was still one of my favorite scenes in any Superman movie, just because Gene Hackman is amazing in that.
Lex, my mother lives in Hackensack.
Yeah, and I think also what they have an opportunity, James Gunn has an opportunity to do, and this is probably nothing's been hinted at this, but they did it a lot in Smallville, is having the various types of kryptonite. I think that I like the idea of introducing, black kryptonite or red at some point,
or blue.
Or blue. I mean, I like that idea. It's a video game theme type of thing. Where you get the certain different kryptonite to help you, and you can do different abilities. Like, I want to see that in a movie. I think it would be kind of fun, kind of cool. Obviously, they haven't hinted at any of that. Something I just thought of that would be kind of neat. But as far as my kind of final thoughts on this, I agree with you, Cal, that this seems to be more of a Lex type thing more than it's the Ultraman from Earth 3. I don't see that with this costume.
Well, not even the costume. Ultraman from Earth 3 isn't going to be hanging out with the military following Lex's orders, right?
No.
Ultraman from Earth 3 would be doing his own fucking thing. That's where I have to believe it's a clone that Lex either has some kind of control over, right? Because Ultraman from Earth 3 wanted to dominate. Like he realized he's the most powerful being in his universe, and he fucked up. Like, I don't see him just covering up completely fully. Again, it's 90 something fucking degrees in Cleveland at that time. I don't see him doing that. And just being obedient. Right, that's where I gotta feel like it's Lex's Black Noir. It's his clone that he made. Hopefully, he didn't sew the mouth shut. But you guys know what I'm talking about. He did so that and all that. But yeah, I definitely. Now I will tell you, if you zoom in on the pictures, I get those big fans aren't there. You're not going to see those, but there is a greenish tint around those. So I wonder if maybe they're pumping kryptonite gas right through there as he's walking to keep him a little more obedient, and then also it would be pumping up if that is an Ultraman. Maybe if it's not Ultraman and it's just a clone of him, which is odd because it depends. Ultraman, real quick, he was harmed by solar radiation, the younger solar radiation. I don't like, real quick, going off on a tangent. It's at the end of the video, so if you've already cut off, you've already cut off. But I don't like people say, "Oh, he's harmed by yellow sun." Like, the sun is not yellow, people. It's not yellow. It is white. It emits all of the colors in the visual spectrum, and then when it's broken down and it's attenuated through the atmosphere, we get a yellowish tint. That's also why sometimes the sun looks red as it gets closer to the fucking horizon when it's going to set or rise, right? It's how the light is attenuated in the atmosphere. The sun is white. The
Yeah.
star is white. The
Shocker.
difference is
The sky's not blue, by the way.
right. That's how it appears. The difference is, and they do a great job. This is why I love in Man of Steel when Jor-El explains his powers. He said, Earth's sun is younger, right? Got to remember, Krypton's it's a red dwarf, right? A red dwarf isn't the gravitational forces are increased. That's why the planet, when you look at it in the original movie, even in subsequent movies, is really close to the sun. Yet it's still an ice planet because it's not putting out anywhere near the temperature of our sun. Solar radiation's down, so like all of those things affected how Krypton was, and you got to figure a red dwarf sun like star that's 13 billion year old fucking star. It's an old fucking star. Our star is younger. That's where he said, Earth, sun is younger, and your body's drunk in the solar radiation. So it's not the yellow sun that's giving him his powers. It's coming from a younger star.
So different from them. Earth's sun is younger and brighter than Krypton's was. Your cells are drunk in its radiation.
Sorry, little rant there and all that. It's just because they're like, oh well, Ultraman is weakened in yellow sunlight. Well, no, he's weakened in the same thing. He's weakened in a
It's a type of radiation the younger sun gives off.
Yeah, a younger star.
Yeah.
I mean, we call it sun, soul, whatever you want to fucking call it, and all that. So
soul system. Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. And, I guess my final thing here, based at least off of what the pictures show, I completely agree with you. I don't think, after you mentioned, like, I didn't even question why he would be walking with Rick Flag or why the military would be there and Ultraman would be taking orders from anything. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me at all. Because you're right. He'd be like, fuck this, and just fucking kill all them and do whatever he wants. Like, he wouldn't,
They would be fight Superman and Ultraman.
Yeah.
I think they're going to call him Ultraman, but it's a clone that Lex made of Superman. So
yeah.
My final thoughts. Let us know down below if what are your thoughts? Okay, be as brutal as you want. I'm good. I get it. We're just giving our opinions, right? This is just we're looking at, and we have to infer from an image. And God knows, some of you really inferred from one single image on some things and made up your mind about how the movie's going to be from one single image. We're just saying our thoughts and feelings. We are asking for yours, though, guys. Even if you think I am absolutely fucking crazy, I still value your opinion. I may not agree with it. Doesn't mean I don't value it, right? So let us know. Maybe you agree with us. Maybe you're just as weird as us and you agree. Although, I mean, it's pretty goddamn spot on. Like, I mean, if you think about it, you really break it down. I feel like we're right there.
Right. We're pretty close, I think, to the what's going on here. And because just like you said, like, it doesn't, the way this picture is framed, it doesn't make sense from the comic book version of Ultraman. This does not make sense for him to be doing what he's doing. So
what does make sense is it's 90-something degrees in Cleveland, and they have two ginormous fucking fans. That does make sense. I'll give them that. Like, all right, it's getting a little too warm in these suits. Let's, especially Black Noir there sitting. I mean, he's completely covered. That's gotta suck.
Oh yeah, he's got to be roasted in that.
Yeah, dude. Between him and Mr. Terrific in that leather jacket, holy God. Praise be to them. This is what these poor people are going through to bring you a movie. Okay, be appreciative.
They're getting paid. They're being paid handsomely. Fuck that.
Okay. So, guys, if you've made it with us this far, we apologize, but also we thank you. Consider giving this video a like. He is going to show you where. I was going to say, please stop pointing to your crotch. Good, upstairs there. God damn it. Gotta split that. Subscribing to the channel so you do not miss our insane rants on these images as they continue to pour in, because they're going to be filming. Filming is going to wrap at the end or end of July, somewhere in between then, depending, might get delayed. So we're going to be getting a lot more images here, and fans are going crazy with taking images. I fucking love it. I'm here for it. All right, because everybody's got their damn camera phones out in Cleveland. Just like, I mean, we're going to get a chunk of the movie. It just won't have any special effects in it by the time this shit's done. So subscribe to the channel so you aren't going to miss any of this and our thoughts and feelings on what we think's going on out of these. And then again, comment down below what you think about the pictures inferred. Do you think this is Ultraman? Do you think Thor over there is adorable?
If you like the video, I will keep bringing Thor on.
To be fair, he didn't bring him on. Thor
likes.
just kind of joined, because he does
He
his own
did.
thing. He's a rocker, man. He does his
He's-
own thing.
Yeah.
All right, Mantis, do you have anything else?
No, I can't wait to see any of the upcoming leaks from the filming on the set. Because as you said, that I've seen videos of the local news broadcasts out of Cleveland, and everyone's talking about filming taking place, and more people are knowing about it. So we're gonna get more pictures from people's cell phones of things going on set. I can't wait to kind of check them out and see, make all of our crazy predictions. So,
and hopefully they treat Cleveland better than LeBron did. So, sorry, I should throw that in there. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us here on this episode of You, Me, and DC. Until the next one, we will see you then.
Later.
And Thor says bye.
Thor's messing with his fuck pig. So.